But we start with our Newsmaker segment and focus our attention on the November election and how the balloting process will work in Johnson County. As you'll recall, the August primary had software issues and election results were not available until 12 hours after polls closed. Are those issues resolved? Will voting go smoothly in November? Well, there is no one better to ask than Johnson County Election Commissioner Ronnie Metzger, a former state representative and former chairman of the county's Republican Party. Mr. Metzger, welcome to Ruckus. Good to see you again.
Thank you so much, Mike. Good to see you again.
Are you comfortable in assuring Johnson County voters they won't see a replay in November of what happened in August during the primary?
Absolutely. Of course, what happened is we had brand new voting machines and brand new software that drive the voting machines and the tabulation of the process. The ballots were cast at the polling location and tabulated within the machines at the time. The machines all worked well, and the votes were cast and they were secure and everything was accurate. There was never a question about the integrity or the accuracy of the count. It was when the sticks came back to the election office where we inserted them into the reporting software that we found that we had a problem.
And this was the first time this software service had been used.
That is true. It's a brand new format of this particular model of voting machine with the tabulator included in the machine, and also the version 6000 software that came with this system. Also, it was the maiden voyage for both.
Yeah, I think once an official from the company came in, he was able to resolve it just like that, right?
Oh, absolutely. And they came in and assumed full responsibility for the problem, and then went about the process of rewriting 2 very small lines of code which corrected the problem. Now that software has gone before federal testing. The testing is completed, and imminently we expect to receive the certification from the federal office.
How big a turnout do you expect in November in Johnson County?
We're thinking it'll be somewhere around 200,000 or just slightly above.
Have you seen an influx of new voters, people coming in to register for this election? We've heard nationally about this great interest in the campaign.
There is. There's high interest, and we have a floodgate of mail that's come starting last week, and we've called in extra help. We've got 25 extra people in our office working on data entry and getting the registrations put into the system. And people are also re-registering. As you know, there are people that change party affiliation during the primary.
So are you seeing new registration from Republicans and Democrats, or just
Absolutely.
Democrats?
Absolutely.
From both parties?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Don't you need volunteers to get through Election Day?
We do. We need 2,050 volunteers to help us with the polling locations. We have 195 locations where people will be able to vote on Election Day, and we're perpetually recruiting more people because people will do this a time or 2 or 3 and then graduate themselves out and say, okay, been there, done that. So we're always looking for folks that are willing to help, and we call them volunteers, but we do also provide them a little stipend, a thank you gift for coming to serve. They have to be a registered voter in Johnson County, and they have to also be willing to serve for that 14-hour period of time, and they have to come to class.
How do they let you know of their interest? How do you find them?
Well, they could go to our election website, and I think we have it on the screen, so that, and then they can look for how do I volunteer, how do I be a poll worker, election worker, look for the word election worker or poll worker, and then there's a place where they can sign in and create the beginning of their profile. Once they're verified that they're a registered voter, then they can complete their profile and actually schedule themselves for a class.
We're down to less than a minute for our discussion. What about early voting? What about people who need information about where to go on election
That information is also on our website that you can see on the screen. We have 6 locations where voters can come, and it's very exciting. In the presidential election, 60% of the people who voted in advance, and so we encourage voters to vote early because it's fun, fast, and flexible.
Easy to vote anymore, is it not?
Absolutely.
All right, sir. Great to see you. Thank you very much for coming in. We'll look forward to quick results on Election Day, November the 6th.
It will be good. It will be dazzlingly fast.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. That is Ronnie Metzger, the Johnson County Election Commissioner. Now let's meet the panel and start a ruckus.